Welcome, everybody. Cletus Ray's Roadside Service. We are having a good day today. We didn't even get up until about 9. Well, we got up at 7, but we didn't leave the house until 9. No, it was earlier than that. It was like 8:30. I don't know. Anyways, we're having a good day. All I had to do today was come in, get loaded, drive down. Not a big deal. Have a good time. But yeah, everything's going really smooth today. I talked to a couple more people about me taking off. I don't think anybody's happy, but some people, I don't really work with anybody, so they're like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, "Yep, I'm out of here." Other people, they're like, "What the fuck? You're leaving? That's not good, man." I'm like, "Yeah, if it wasn't good, I wouldn't be doing it, man." But anyways, been driving the truck. I'm still waiting on my OG me, Operation Get a Motorcycle Endorsement. It's still happening apparently because I got to wait for my background check and my fingerprints and everything to come back. And once all that shit comes back, and I get they send me the email saying that the state's got it. Which what happened to me last time is they sent me an email whenever I first got my has endorsement. They sent me an email and I went up to the DMV and they still didn't know, like they still didn't have everything. So I'm curious if that's going to happen again today, or not today, but whenever that happens, because I still got one more shot this week to go get it, but I'm going to need them to get it going. I will run up to the DMV. It'll be Thursday morning. I'll run up to the DMV if I get the email before then. Jesus, government. Actually, I don't know if it's government. I don't know who the fuck it is. So who does the federal background check? So I guess it is the government. Come on, man! Like, hurry up and get my fucking. I'm good still right now. I'm just trying to renew it. I didn't think it would take the same amount of time to do it the second time. Anyways, whatever. So I am. I know. I just know how my luck works, and if I ride that bike, I will get pulled over, and then I will not. I'll get in trouble. Like, oh, I mean, it makes sense to me, and I think it makes sense to you guys. Like, clearly I'm good to ride a motorcycle. I'm fine. It's got insurance. It's tagged. I had the permit for a year, and now I'm just trying to add the endorsement. The hazmat bullshit is really getting in the fucking way. Uh, so I just gotta wait, and I am slightly debating because I have to. I'm gonna be utilizing my hazmat for the next 2 weeks. Because I put in my 2 weeks. I wasn't sure at the start if I was gonna use it all the way through, but they got me doing the job that I want to do, and that makes me the most money. So I'm going to continue to do this until right up until the weekend of me starting my new job. So I have to hold on to it. But I'm like, I don't know if I just have to go through. If I decide to get another job with a hazmat, honestly, it's $85 to do everything. Well, and then another $15 at the place. So it's not like cost prohibitive to get my hazmat. I just got to redo the test and whatnot. So I don't know. I'm like, I got motorcycle fever right now. I'm really. It's been so fucking nice every day, and I can't ride the fucking bike because I know I'll be ripping it up the highway, and then a cop is gonna see me and pull me over, and then I don't know what kind of trouble I would exactly get in, riding without a license, is pretty bad. Sounds bad to me. I don't know. I feel like people get pulled over all the time for all kinds of crazy shit, and they're just like out living their life later on the next day and doing the same shit. Like they don't give a fuck. I do give a fuck. My license is really important to me. I need to make sure I obey as many laws as possible, and permits and licenses and shit. I don't know. Because, I mean, even the DMV, they're like, oh, just ride it and just don't get caught. And I'm like, that's not how I want to live my life. You know, that's not how I want to live my life. They're like, oh, well, you could just get rid of the HAS endorsement. I'm like, I also need that for work. I don't just, on a personal level, I don't give a shit about having a hazmat license. I need it for work. Like, that's how I make money, is having a hazmat endorsement. So, but anyways, I got another test thing I got to do, a push pull lift test thing that the new company wants me to do. So I'm gonna go get that done next Tuesday. So in 1 week from today. Other than that, I've got everything done, and just kind of waiting on uh, something else to happen. I guess I don't know, but if I don't get this hazmat shit, my shit back soon enough, I'm gonna be pretty fucking upset. I mean, I've got like well, you gotta send in, you gotta have like a special code to log in to check your status or whatever. I've got so many of those fucking little things on there, temporary codes, because I've checked it twice a day for the last fucking since I did it, which was a while back. And they say, "Oh, just contact us if you don't get it in 30 days." Like, you motherfuckers, you better fucking send it. Don't make me wait fucking 30 days, goddamn it, and then try to figure it out from then on. Like, I need this shit going. Yeah, got dirt bike fever. Need to be riding. Also, just driving the truck. Every time I got to put fuel in the fucking truck, I'm like, God damn it! I could have been on a bike enjoying my drive. Instead, I'm driving my truck that uses way too much fucking gas and runs like fucking shit on these nice days. And did I talk about it already? The heater control module or whatever the fuck started fucking up. So it's all like digital. Well, it's got buttons, but it's like got a little green display. And while probably over a month ago, I was messing with it and I was trying to turn it from hot to cold, and it started flashing. And now it's stuck on hot. And even when you turn it off, it still blows. So, and I haven't really had the desire to go in there and unhook the fucking fan quite yet. I need to unplug the fan or just remove the fuse, I guess, because it's blowing out heat, and it's 82 degrees right now today, and it's been pretty fucking warm for the last bit. We did have a little bit of a cold front come in with that last one storm that came through. Um, when old Luke, I don't know if I talked about it. Did I? Did I already talk about the tornado? I don't know. A tornado got really close to my house, and I don't know if I've already explained this. I'm sorry, but I'm going to explain it again. I've talked to so many people. It's hard to remember who I've talked to, but whenever it was Friday night. I had got home. I put in my 2 weeks, and I drove home, and I was trying to hurry my ass up because I knew this storm was coming, and it was about an hour behind me, so that was pretty good. But everywhere I was, there was severe weather. Shortly after I left, and so I was like, I need to hurry up, get to the shop. Got to the shop, hopped out, gave my 2 weeks, parked the truck, put my shit in my pickup, and then hit the road. I'm trying to haul ass home in my pickup, and then I get home. Well, my wife dropped the kids off with my mom. They have a house not even 10 minutes away from me, so we're basically she's in the next city, but it's not that far away. And my buddy Luke, he lives with me, and well, not with me, but in the same city, but he's on the other side of the city. He's actually further away than my mom's house. And I go down. I'm like, all right, well, I'm just gonna go ahead and get comfortable in the basement because I know the sirens are probably gonna end up going off, just from me watching Ryan Hall, y'all, the weather guy on YouTube, and watching the WeatherWise app and looking at everything. And I was like, oh man, this is yeah, it's headed right for me. It's headed right the fuck for me. And there were some tornadoes on the other side, on the Kansas side, that were coming over. They were, or at least tornado producing storms that were headed, I mean, directly for me. And I was like, ah, shit. So I got comfortable in the basement and got the dogs in there, and I got a little gate thing to keep them in the basement so they don't run upstairs, because the little ones will run up there and just lay on the couch. And it's like, no, I need you to fucking stay down here, God damn it. And then I text my wife, I text my mom, I text my buddy, and he's like, "Do you got room for 2 adults and 3 dogs?" I said, "I always have room for you, buddy. Come on over." I was like, "But you need to hurry because it looks like the storm is hitting right now. Like, and it's like a lot of the storms that were happening on the front of it." Because he's like, "Oh, it seems fine outside." I'm like, "Yeah, it's about to not look fine outside. I promise you, it's not." And then he's like, "Oh shit, and we need to come over." I'm like, "Come on over." And my wife was gone, and I cleaned up the garage again so we can keep parking her car in there. Because we got right now she cannot park in the garage, but that's another story that I'm about to get into here in a little bit. But I opened up the garage, he parked his car in the garage and hopped out, and then we all hung out in the basement. But this freaking guy was basically following in the tornado's path. He left just, if he would have left 30 seconds or a minute earlier, he would have been driving in the tornado to my house. I mean, the tornado didn't go towards my house, but it went where he was really fucking close to getting tornadoed. So, anyways, he drove behind the tornado all the way to my house, and then, I mean, of course, there was more storm after that, and he wanted to kind of hang out for a little bit longer after that. But I mean, I had just got off work. I think he had just got off work, and we were. He didn't hang out too long, which is fine. But yeah, it was an interesting time. He watched a telephone pole get knocked down, and transformers blowing, and trash cans flying across, like the big dumpster trash cans. Well, not dumpsters, but like the wheelie bins or whatever, flying across. And we looked at some of the damage reports on the news, the local news. And yeah, there's a lot of houses. They got pretty fucked up. Some of them lost a roof. A lot of them lost siding. It was not good. Went over to my mom's house the next day to pick up the kids. I found a shingle out in their yard. They're like, "Oh shit, is this from our house?" I'm like, "I don't know." Yeah, I don't know. But here's a shingle on the ground. It's a top cap shingle or whatever they call them. Not a roofer, by the way. But you could see it was bent to be on the top. And yeah, if it's a storm is strong enough to blow the shingles off, yeah, I don't know. It could be your fucking neighbor's house. And honestly, it probably was the people across the street from her, because her house faced east, and the storm came from no, it faces west, and the storm came from the west. So if it was blowing shingles off their house, it would have blown them east, and they would have she'd have had shingles in her backyard or something. Anyways, whatever. I'm just talking right now. Uh, So anyways, that's a crazy story that we get to talk about. That's fun. Uh, just hanging out in the basement with a bunch of doggies. All of our dogs would probably get along, but I was like, I'm gonna lock mine up in their kennels, and their kennels are down there in the basement. I'm gonna lock mine up in the kennels, and yours can run around because I don't know. I don't want them to not get along, and while we're dealing with some crazy shit right now. And yeah, he's got. It's not a German Shepherd. I forget what kind of dog it is, but it's some sort of a dog that looks a lot like a German Shepherd. And then I have a German Shepherd, so they both look pretty close to each other. They're black with tan spots, and they were, I don't know. My dog was like angry as fuck in her kennel, and I was like, "Oh shit! I totally forgot she can break out of that fucking thing if she really wants to." I was like, "We need to keep our eyes on that fucking kennel." Um, but anyway, everything ended up fine. We've had them dogs out together before, and everything was fine. But it was in like an open backyard. But all right, we need some more air conditioning here. It's getting warm. Driving. It's 2:47 right now. I'm driving. The sun is like right above my windshield, just heating up the cab. Yesterday, Monday, I got home and the wife and her sister decided to do some gardening, which means I got home and I had to do gardening. It was not they it's so funny. I get home and they're like, "Hey, do you have a shovel?" And I was like, "I do." And it's like brand new because I never fucking want to ever use a shovel. They're like, "Oh, well, we just need a shovel to do this." And I get the shovel. I'm like, "Here you go." I'm not operating that fucking shovel though. They're like, "What? We're not heavy enough to fucking break these roots or whatever, dig these holes." I don't know what. They were just trying to clear out this flower bed in front of my house. It's my wife's idea. She's been wanting to do it for a while, which is fine. And I'm willing to help, but it was just really funny that as soon as I get home off of work, I basically am handed a shovel at my house. And they're like, dig up these roots. They're like, "You're not going to help at all." I'm like, "I will help. But I've got other shit going on. I've got other shit going on. I just got the fuck home. I don't want to be handed a shovel in my house." Um, yeah, we had a Japanese maple, which is a great tree. I know. I've heard from fucking everybody. Everybody loves Japanese maples. I understand. That's fine. But this one was in my fucking front step of my house. It was like pushing the steps away from the house and fucking shit up. So I chopped that bitch down as soon as I moved in, and I just left the stump there. And there's some bushes and shit that were growing on top of it. And didn't it looked okay if you cleared out all the weeds and stuff? It looked all right. It all covered the stump, but my wife was determined to get this fucking stump out. I was like, fine. And my son was like, "I want to ride the four wheeler." I'm like, "Yes, buddy, I want you to ride the four wheeler too, and I want to watch you ride the four wheeler." But I ended up getting stuck doing this fucking shoveling bullshit, all these stumps and everything. I got the chainsaw out. I was like, "You dig around the fucking stump. I'll pull out the chainsaw, chop off whatever the fuck I can. I'm not shoveling, okay?" And they kept talking shit on my shovel too. I'm like, "It's like a brand. I mean, it's a cheap shovel, but it's not like a bad shovel. It's brand new. What? I bought it. I think when we moved into this house, I bought it, and then I've never had to use it for anything. I needed yeah, I haven't really had to dig holes at my house ever. I did do 3 4x4 posts in my backyard, and I had to dig those out, but those with post hole diggers, kind of different. But anyways, um, my son's wanting to ride the four wheeler, And I'm over there. They got a bunch of weeds and other shrubbery shit they're yanking out of this flower bed, and they're wanting me to take care of it. They're like, "What? Should we throw this in the trash can or what?" I'm like, "Give it to me. I'll throw it in the fucking backyard." And I got a burn barrel back there. And anyways, my son was riding the four-wheeler around, and then he got pissed off. I wasn't there, but he got pissed off and ran inside, and he was mad as hell because he couldn't ride the four-wheeler. The four-wheeler was not turning good. And I had noticed that one of the front wheels was, I mean, the alignment on this four-wheeler is fucking shit anyways. But I did notice that one of the front wheels was, the brake was kind of locking up on it. Like it was, if he, as it, he doesn't have enough body weight to make the suspension articulate. So whenever he's driving it, uh, one of the wheels will pick up, and it'll just, instead of it spinning, it just stops, you know. And I was like, that's so weird. Let me look at it. So I tilted it over, looked at it. I thought the brake caliper was just locking up on it. So I loosened up the little cable on the brake caliper, and then it was pushed up against one side of the brake caliper. And then I backed up a little bit and looked at it. The whole fucking brake rotor is like bowled out. You know, it's totally bent. The whole fucking brake rotor's bent on this brand new fucking four wheeler. I'm like, what the hell? And I noticed that one of the perches on the steering knuckle had broke. So, and then it was pushing the top every time he tried to turn to the right. It was just pushing the tie rod into the brake caliper. I got pictures. Maybe I'll show them. I don't know. It's not. I mean, just believe me. Uh, and it was just slowly bending and warping his brakes the whole time he's been riding it. I'm like, oh fuck! And because this little perch that comes off that goes to his brake rotor or to his steering knuckle, the weld's broke. Honestly, I don't think it was welded at all. I mean, it was welded on one side, but on the other side, the booger welds that come out of fucking China were not on it. So I was like, oh, this thing is fucking. So whenever I grabbed it, you could turn the steering wheel and hold that wheel, and that wheel wouldn't turn at all. So that's where the frustration was coming from. I mean, he was dragging that fucking tire no matter what. But whenever he turns, that wheel was not turning as far as it should have. And I said, you know what? I actually have a fucking tool to fix this. I bought a welder. Back when I bought all the shit for the DR 650, I threw a welder in the fucking shopping cart because it was cheap. It was a super cheap little stick welder. And I just haven't messed with it. I haven't had to weld anything or whatever. But I said, you know what? This is perfect time for me to do this. I don't have a fucking grinder, so I had to kind of hammer off some pieces and break some pieces and bend them until they broke off, and then I had to grab a file to kind of file down some of the rough spots and whatnot. And it was just if I would have had a grinder, this job would have been way fucking faster. But I had just had wire brushes. I don't have a drill. I need to get a fucking drill, and I need to get a grinder. Those are two tools that I really should fucking have. But I've been borrowing Luke's grinder for a while now. I used his grinder to cut the floorboard out of my truck. I have a grinder, but it's a cheapo Harbor Freight, and it just burnt up one day. That's why I ended up borrowing his. And his lived at my house for a while. Then he was like, I actually need that. I'm like, yeah, I know. Here you go. You can have it back. But as soon as I give it to him, I'm like, oh, fuck, I need it back now. So I just need to go get myself a grinder and a drill. I have a couple of old piece of shit drills. The batteries are bad in them, and they were cheap ass drills, anyways. I was really thinking about getting a chuck for my little screw gun. I love my little screw gun. It just does. I've done everything with it, and it does pretty fucking good. It just doesn't spin super fast, but um, I pull out the welder after I get everything kind of cleaned up enough that I can probably throw some welds down. And honest, I've never used this welder before, also, so this is a new experience for me. And I got these little auto darkening goggles. I don't know why I didn't just buy a full shield, but I just bought these cheapo goggles that have auto darkening. And I was like, all right, I'm like sitting down ready to weld, and I'm like, I better test out these cheap fucking goggles. So I got and I look at the sun, and they go dark immediately whenever I look at the sun. But then after I've looked at it for a little bit, they turn back to normal. I'm like, well, that's not good. I hope that doesn't happen when I'm welding. But I said, I'm gonna risk it. I don't give a shit. And then also just this piece that I'm trying to weld is also just a super awkward shape. I can't get anything to stay there, so I need to invest into some magnets and some other clamping type devices or something. I don't know. I need to figure out something. I was used a little tiny magnet for when you drop a bolt down a fucking engine bay, a little telescoping magnet. Use that, and that actually ended up working out pretty well. And I threw some welds down on the thing, and I don't know what I need. I need to just mess around with it and also look up some videos. But I don't know what the voltage I'm doing is real. I don't know what I'm doing there. So I'm like turning it up, turning it down. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But anyways, I threw some welds on it, and I actually got the piece to stay where I wanted it to go, and I threw a bunch of fucking welds at it, every side, every corner, all of it. So it's on there pretty fucking good, and I was like, damn, I actually do like this welding thing. This is pretty fucking fun. It's a little stick welder. And, I mean, I've got sparks going, something's burning in the corner, I'm like, whatever, just, I need a probably a little bit more personal protection, but yeah. And then I was texting with Luke. I was like, look, I did this, and my welds do not look good at all. I think I had the voltage or whatever that is way too fucking high because it was just, um, I mean, it was burning right through the fucking thing. And this welder is so fucking tiny. It is a very tiny little welder. And I mean, it's got a big fan on it. Whenever you click it on, it takes a couple of seconds, and then the fan turns on, and it just, woo! And I'm like, this thing ain't bad, for being, I think, $20 off of Amazon. All right, this is actually perform. How long will it perform? I don't know. Probably not very long. But for right now, for what I needed, just to get my boy back on his quad, which he's not back on his quad because I haven't put it all back together yet. I got stuck gardening. Um, that's the worst. Whenever I'm like, okay, I have this project and I need to focus on this project, and I get down, I'm trying to get everything ready, and they're like, "Hey, come shovel for me." I'm like, "God damn it!" Like leave me alone for just a. I am so close to being ready to fucking work on this goddamn four wheeler, Chinese four wheeler, and now you keep taking me away, and I gotta go fucking step on a shovel to get the root cut, or to fire up the chainsaw, chop this. I'm like, you guys need to just decorate around the fucking roots, okay? Bury them, like, fuck, leave me alone. I'm working on a real man's project over here, welding. But then I got the idea to take one of my, a bit adapters or whatever, and then weld on a wire wheel. It didn't hold very well. I don't know. Can you weld steel to stainless? I don't know. You need to get all the stainless shit off of it. I don't know. But I welded the fuck out. I mean, not the fuck out of it. I just tried to put a couple of tacks on it to keep it good, uh, keep it on there, so then I could clean up the welds that I just did on the other thing with a drill. And I don't know, but I'm excited. I was like, damn, this welding thing is pretty fucking cool. Maybe if I'm working with something a little bit easier to manage, I think I could get used to it. But trying to lay a good bead with with my knowledge, and also having to go freaking dig a hole in the middle of it, not bad. The welds are not going to look super great. I need some practice. I need to learn how to tune the motherfucker, and I also need some more magnet things to help me with some projects. But I got it to where I'm like, fuck, I need to cut the rockers off of one of my 92 and just I got all kinds of sheet steel. Well, not all kinds of it, but I got some sheet steel. I just weld in, cut out the old fucking shit and weld this fucking shit in. Or like the floorboards of my truck, maybe I will get some steel and I'll just weld the fucking floor for my square body. Because I'm my square body. The plan has always been for me to rivet that bitch in with aluminum floor. Um, Rivet the aluminum to the steel and pound it and bang it and twist it and cut it. And I think I don't know. I don't know if that's still the plan or not. I think buying new floorboards from LMC Truck, which is local to Kansas City, I don't think I think it's going to be way less headache if I just go buy some new floorboards to throw in that bitch. But my idea to just hammer in some fucking aluminum sheeting, it's still the plan right now. I mean, if it's cheap and free, I'm doing it that way versus spending a little bit of money. That's the way my life has always gone. I always try to do it the cheapest way possible, and usually the cheapest way is with shit I find on the ground where I've been. You know, the metal bin at my dumpster has been raided by me several times. But yeah, I'm pretty excited about that. Just getting some welding down. Need to just practice on some other shit and get it good. I hope whatever I did to my son's quad is actually going to work out. If it doesn't, it seems like it's something I could recreate. But I don't know. We'll just go with it. I think I fixed it, and if I fix this part of it, I noticed that the bike his four wheeler is not symmetrical. The A arm that was made on the left is a little bit. It's got different dimensions than the one on the right. They're supposed to have the same dimensions, but they don't. And also the steering, like you can't steer this thing very far at all because it's constantly hitting on different. Like there's a bump stop, like a steering stop, and that steering stop doesn't hit where it's supposed to go because there's other shit hitting. So I need to figure out what the fuck to do with that. And then also the brake rotor is now completely trash. I thought maybe I could hammer it flat. I don't know. I haven't taken it off to investigate that much further. I was thinking about just removing that brake entirely, and he'll have one front brake, or just remove the front brakes and just be like, you just need to use the rear brakes. I can move the cord for the rear brakes over to that handle, and maybe that'll be easier on him. Anyways, I don't know. I don't know what I want to do yet, but otherwise, I just need to find a new brake rotor for this Chinese quad, and I don't know if those are. I mean, I could email the people and have them send me one. They sent me the pull start. I got the pull start. I haven't installed it yet, just because it is really handy to just fucking stick a drill on there. Like it's not that big of a deal to throw a drill on it, take care of it, but because my son can't pull start it anyways, and My wife can, but I don't know. Putting the drill on there and just spin it till she fucking starts up, and then you're good to go, bud. I don't know what else I want to do to it. Really, just the steering geometry needs to be changed. So yeah, I don't know if I end up getting me a grinder or whatever I need, I might cut off some pieces and move them to where they need to go, so things will operate properly. Also, cutting and grinding and maybe bending. I'm not sure. Stuff to make it turn to full lock, because right now, yeah, even whenever it was turning slightly properly, it was still having trouble turning. Uh, like he can't make a sharp corner or whatever. So that means he's got to hop off it and twist it around and lift up the back end and rotate it. And he's also, I need to teach him how to back up, because every time he backs up, he leaves the steering wheel or the handlebars turned the way he wants to go. I'm like, you need to turn the wheels the opposite way that you want to go, push it backwards, and that will pull the nose of the four-wheeler over to where you want to be. But I don't know. That's just going to he's going to have to figure that out. I'll work with him on it. But yeah, I don't know. The thing still runs great. Runs great. Uh, Looks good. Just one of the wheels almost it didn't almost fall off. It was bolted on there, but he basically lost steering in one of the wheels. So he could turn fully one way, but if he turns the other way, they're just towed out. Yeah. But me, a welder, with my little itty bitty tiny welder, dude, I think that thing's gonna get some use now that I finally broke it out and popped my welding cherry. I think it's gonna get some use. I did some welding back in the day, long time back in the day, in high school. I went to welding class and um, had a good time there, but I think I was still a little bit dumb, back then. I didn't really care. I didn't give a shit. Now, my other two buddies, Tyler and Jordan, they went to an actual welding class, and I think their parents had to pay for them to go to do that. And I don't know. I also wasn't interested in doing it, but if I would have known now what I knew knew then, what if I knew if I could go back then, I would have been like, yeah, let's all three go to welding class and let's all three start a fucking welding business and get welding truck. And it could have been we could have been rolling in the fucking dough, by now, being on-site welders or whatever, we're working on the pipeline, whatever. Or we could have been exploded. In a lot of the training videos that I watch with my current work, they're like, oh yeah, somebody was repairing a tank and they as soon as they fired up the welder, they exploded themselves. I'm like, yeah, that could have definitely been another way it went. Because a lot of people, there has, explosive tanks or the gasoline or what, I don't know, flammable materials in them. They drain them down and they're like, all right, now let's weld on it. And people don't vent them properly. They don't unload them all the way, or it's connected to another tank over here and somebody forgot to shut the valve. So whenever, all the fumes are coming from that side to this side, and then it transfers, and then it's just shit blows up all the time whenever welding is a very dangerous job. But it doesn't have to be, as long as you know what the fuck you're doing and step back and look at what you're doing. But that's on anything, really. Just sometimes people need, no matter if you get real comfortable with something, sometimes every now and again you need to take a step back and make sure you're doing it right. Don't get too complacent. That's easy for somebody to say on a podcast, but um, That's how a lot of injuries and deaths happen is people just got too comfortable with stuff. So quit being so fucking comfortable, motherfuckers. Um, yeah, I think I got a driving test. I need to do a driving test for my new company. I don't know, it's not something to be super excited about, but it is another step closer to working there, even though I've already got a start date and everything figured out, but um, they want me to do a driving test before onboarding. So I'm like, just wait till I get there. That could be the first thing we fucking do is go out and do a driving test. Like, that'll be fine. They're just something companies have to do, but I'm like, I can drive a 10 speed. You got a 10 speed in there, I can drive it. I'll be fine. I can do it. I am excited to get my own truck. Well, not your own truck, but to get a truck that is only going to be used by me primarily, day to day. I can leave a phone charger in it. I can leave, I can clean it, and then that's going to be the truck that I get to drive once it's clean. Because it seems like right now with my current company, every single time I put in a lot of time detailing or cleaning a truck, it gets taken away from me, or I clean it for somebody else, and then the truck that I get is fucking trashed. It would be really cool if I just knew I was going to drive the same truck every day, and I would clean it. I would keep it clean. I go through the trucks whenever I get in them, just to make sure I have all the correct documentation and whatnot. Um, and just to see what else is in there, like what's under the seat, what's in this little toolbox, what's over there, what's behind the seat, and just clean some shit out. But it gets kind of tiring, and just the way other people treat vehicles is fucking ridiculous. Like every truck I get into, it's just full of trash. It's like, come on, guys. Like I'm not the cleanest guy in the world, but I can put all my trash in one section of the truck, or if I have a trash bag, which usually I do, I can put all the trash in one spot, and then when I get out of the truck, I take my trash. But I always end up taking other people's trash too. Like the one yesterday, there was all kinds of bullshit. Or no, not yet. Yeah, it was yesterday. The winch truck. There's all kinds of bullshit all over the floor. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Like, people don't drive this. This isn't a truck that people go out and do long trips in. They go out, they move a frac tank, they pick one up, whatever, and then they bring it back. This isn't like a truck that somebody runs every day. And so there's no telling how long that shit's been sitting in there. And then everybody else that drives it doesn't want to clean. I'll clean it up. I did. I cleaned it up. Fucking annoying. But I don't know. It's annoying, but that's not something that make me talk super bad. Like, oh, fuck this job. All the trucks are dirty. No, I don't. I can clean trucks and it pay me properly, and I don't mind doing all kinds of shit like that. I mean, you're not paying me properly now, and I do that shit right now. So, but it did send me off. Get over Toyota. There's nobody next to you. Why would you? People that don't get over for people pulled over on the side of the road, especially when there's so much room for you. Obama, they have an Obama sticker on their fucking. They're old as shit. You're probably old as fuck. You think Obama's still president, probably. Obama bumper sticker on a fucking Toyota Corolla. Didn't get over for a pulled over hot shotter, you know. Hey, I may talk a lot of shit on hot shotters, but I still get over for them. I don't want to run anybody over on the fucking highway. That'd really be way too much paperwork. and shit to explain. You kill somebody when driving? Jesus, I don't want to do that. That is not ever something I want to have to deal with. You get over. If you can, you get the fuck over. And if you can't get over and there's somebody there, you still just get the fuck over. I'd rather hit the fucking idiots next to me that won't fucking get out of my fucking way than some poor guy just trying to change a tire on the side of the road. Like, no, fuck, you're in a fucking car. I'd rather hit somebody in a car than somebody, working on the side of the road. Yeah, there's enough shoulder for you to ride on. I'll get over. I'll fucking push your ass onto the shoulder. Fuck off. I'd rather you be pissed off at me than them dead. And dead from me. Meaning I go to jail. No more dirt bikes and welding for old Kletus. He ran over a hot shotter on the highway because fucking goddamn Toyota with an Obama bumper sticker wouldn't get out of his way. He decided not to hit the Obama bumper sticker fucking Toyota and hit the guy on the side of the road. He's going to jail. Uh, yeah, I don't know. My yard, I sprayed some shit down on it whenever I mowed. After I mowed, I went through and I sprayed a bunch of weed killer and whatnot on there. And I mean, my lawn is just full of dandelions, but my Facebook feed is full of people eating dandelions and making dandelion soup, and they're like, "There's so many nutrients, it's so good for you. You should eat the dandelions," and blah 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 blah. And I'm like, if I had enough time, maybe I would try to eat some dandelions, but I don't. So I'm just gonna spray this weed killer on all these fucking dandelions because I have more shit to worry about than fucking dandelions. My wife wants a clean looking yard. Sorry, dandelions, you're getting sprayed. But I did think, I was like, maybe there's one spot I won't spray. So if I decide to eat some dandelions one day, I'll have them. But then I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? What the fuck am I doing? Thinking about saving the dandelions to eat them. Dumb. Dumb, dude. Oh, man. Pulling into El Dorado, Kansas. There's only a couple of corners on I-35 that I slow down for a little bit. I let off the throttle, and this is one of them. It's just a little bit too sharp, with a fully loaded tanker. With my empty tanker headed north, I hit that bitch at 78 mile an hour. Now, you'll be fine. But whenever you're fully loaded, you take a little bit more caution around these corners and stuff, and there's only a couple of corners on I-35 South through Kansas that you want to let off the throttle on, and that's one of them. That'll make your butt pucker coming into that fucking corner, especially, with a tanker load. These tanker loads, they're not full to the top. I'm at full weight, but that doesn't mean that's how much product's in there. I'm probably about 75% full. So there's more room for shit to slosh than if I was hauling a full tank of water. So the baffles in the tanks, they keep shit moving front and back. They don't keep shit moving side to side. So you go around some of these fucking corners, and you get a lot of liquid raising up on the left side of your wall or the right side of your wall, whichever way you're turning. Man, it's just being a tanker driver. You gotta think about these things because it's not like gonna just tip up on its wheels and then come back down. Like if it's tipping enough that the wheels would come up off the ground, you're going over. There's no getting out of it really. And even if you do get, you're gonna overreact and you're gonna flip over the other direction. You just slow down like I do. I have honestly, yes, I have flipped a vacuum tanker, a little truck, a 10-wheeler, a straight truck, uh, and it was only half full, which is the worst. And I got you know, it ended up exactly how people write it in books. You have a half loaded tanker. You know, I do have a baffle in there, but it's only one baffle and it's not that much. You slam on the brakes, it's going to keep pushing you more than you would think. And then whenever you go down into the ditch to avoid hitting the cars, it's going to go up on the side of the truck and it's going to tip your ass over, and there's nothing you can do about it. You didn't expect it to flip over. I didn't expect it to flip over. I just thought I was going to go down in the ditch real quick and pop back out and be all right. No, dude. The fucking motherfucker flipped the fuck over. By the time you realize it's tipping, you're like, oh, I made a mistake. But there's really not much I could do. It was either hit the cars ahead of me or take the ditch, and I will always take the ditch. Um, Maybe I'll take the ditch a little bit differently next time. I don't know, but it's one of those things that I'm explaining it, and everybody that listens to it's like, yeah, well, yeah, that makes sense. It's like, yeah, I was that guy too, and I thought what I was doing was going to be fine, and it's like the liquid over exaggerates for you, okay, and it's like a feeling that you can only get when shit's going real bad, you know. I don't know what I'm trying to explain here. Yeah, if somebody else flipped a vector, but yeah, the liquid pushes you. Yeah. When you turn a corner or lean over or whatever, you know, liquid's gonna go up on the wall. Yeah. I was the same guy. I'm saying the same thing as you fuckers. Okay, I'm saying the same shit. I'm the same guy. Same thing. It's worse than that. That's what I'm trying to say. It's worse than that. God damn it. Because whenever you think about getting pushed, all that liquid going to the front of the truck, oh yeah, it's going to push you. But you think it's going to like push you and then rock back and then push you and then rock back. No, it pushes you, and for some weird way, it just keeps pushing you. It doesn't surge, it just keeps pushing you. And you're like, it's not that much water. Like I'm not even close to being overweight. These brakes are able to stop the truck this amount of weight all the time. It keeps pushing you. What? It's like I still don't understand exactly how it does it. It's just like the water goes and then it should, you know, be there. It's that now it's just heavy on the front. No, it's got momentum in some way, shape, or form that just keeps pushing you, and you're locked up on the brakes. And I mean, honestly, the front brakes aren't as good as all the rear brakes, uh, and all the weight is on the front, and you're actively stopping. Most of the weight is going to that front axle, and it just will not fucking stop. The rear brakes they might as well be off the fucking ground. I feel like I have to defend myself all the time. I have the police report and it says it wasn't my fault. Okay, he did. If he would have stayed on the road and hit that car, even at a slow speed, he'd probably be fucking fired and, you know, sued for damages and whatnot. Careless driver hits family in an Escalade. No, I'm a caring driver, and I took the ditch. I flipped the fuck over in the ditch. Look at this Pepsi truck. Pepsi mud flaps, Pepsi on the door, Pepsi on the side. Pepsi. I love Pepsi. What's up, Pepsi man? I had a Pepsi earlier today. I should stay away from fucking sodas. It's so bad. I would love to be able to get on that no soda, no bread diet. I think that's where my body should be. No bread, no soda. Uh, how did I burn through a quarter of a tank already? I just fueled up in Ottawa, or no, a little past Ottawa. Did I fucking forget to put the fuel cap back on? What's going on here? That's actually really shocking that I just noticed that. Maybe I've been driving for longer than I thought. An hour? Hmm. Well, I guess I was driving for probably an hour before I started recording, and I've been recording for an hour. All right, 2 hours. That's better. That's better fuel economy than I was expecting. I guess so. I don't know. Anyways, I got dirt bike fever. Well, what kind of fever do you guys have? If there's something that it's in your life, food, sex, drugs, uh, dirt bikes, race cars, trucks, what in your life could be taken away and you usually got the fever for it? Because I got a dirt bike and it's been taken away from me for paperwork, and I've got the fever to ride. God bless the souls that are on the road when I might get my fucking license, because I'm so happy to ride it again. I'm gonna be a wild man on a DR 650. Adios. Keep all 18 down. We'll talk to you later. Bye bye.